I know what you're thinking. How did I end up in this situation? Trust me, it's not an easy story to tell. And honestly, most of you won't believe me. But what if I told you that babies come from cabbages? Yeah, I know. Wild, right? I thought the same thing until my buyers, or parents as you call them, told me the truth. Now I get it. It's a hard story to swallow. But if you stick with me, I'll tell you everything. Well, I guess we have to go back to the beginning. You see, a long time ago, ancient alchemists stumbled upon the secret of how to birth babies from cabbages. This magic was regarded as the greatest secret. Using the Philosopher's Stone, they were able to find a new way to give birth, through the sacred cabbage. Why cabbage, you might ask? Well, rumor has it that they thought it looked like a baby's head. Makes some sort of sense, right? These cabbages were engineered to grow humans. I guess you could say I'm a homunculus. Actually, we all are. But the new church couldn't let that kind of power stay in the hands of a few alchemists. No, they wanted the cabbage secret for themselves. So they destroyed the alchemists, wiped them out. And after that, the new church was in control of the cabbage knowledge and its power. They used this secret to grow their own army, cabbage-born, loyal, and ready to serve. Around this time, something else was happening. A reset. The ancient world, filled with advanced civilizations, was falling apart. Floods, earthquakes, whole cities buried under mud. Some say it was due to a certain group's affiliation with black magic. Others think it was just nature taking its course. Whatever the reason, these incredible cities were destroyed and emptied out. Massive floods of mud buried many of the cities deep beneath the ground, only leaving the ruins of a once great age. After the reset, the church sent out its minions to scavenge what remained of those ancient cities. They explored the ruins, documenting everything. This became known as the Founding. The history we're taught today? Yeah, it's all a lie. Across the world, even in the United States, these cities weren't being built. They were being literally founded. The new church rewrote history, hiding the truth of advanced civilizations from this new population. They had to program the first set of orphans through the schooling system. And these orphans weren't just any children. They were the chosen ones, handpicked to become the elites of the new age. They were initiated into secret brotherhoods, where this knowledge of the reset and Freemasonry would be carefully guarded. These orphan brotherhoods began to clean up these cities, raise the streets, and create what we now know as downtowns. Many of these buildings were still buried, and there was a complete underground portion of the city that would be unknown to the general public. But there was still a problem. They needed to fill in these empty ghost cities with people. These first orphans were infertile and didn't even know what sex was. But within the brotherhoods, they were entrusted with one crucial secret: the knowledge of the sacred cabbage. Crazy, right? I didn't believe it either until my parents, buyers, showed me these old postcards. These postcards are very real, and apparently, these Masonic orphans kept them as a way to keep truth hidden in plain sight. But it actually gets even darker than that. I was told that these postcards were advertisements, a means to sell babies. During this early post-reset era, the new church needed more minions. What started small turned into a full-scale operation. Babies were grown in cabbages on massive farms. This was how they repopulated the empty cities. Couples would come to the farms and pick out their favorite baby from the cabbage patch. They didn't really see these babies as their own, but instead they were merely products. It became a cultural phenomenon to purchase babies, and they were sold on the streets, in carts, at shopping centers, and even at world fairs. These world fairs were repurposed ancient buildings that were used to display ancient advanced technology, and they would show off the incubator babies. These incubator babies were cabbage babies that had still not fully developed, and this tech was used to speed up the birthing process. People from around the world would come to see the spectacle and to even purchase one of these incubator babies. Some babies were even sent over in the mail. Delivery men would bring these fresh babies right to your door. Not only that, but you could also have a stork deliver a baby right to your window. It was pretty wild times. These storks would care for the babies on the cabbage patches, and when the time was right, they would be delivered accordingly to their appropriate families. Some say that the storks were delivery men, but others insist that these storks have been participating in this practice since ancient times. But as you can guess, things didn't stay simple. There were too many babies. They started repopulating cities on the East Coast, but those filled up way too fast. It was the industrial age, and the cabbage farms were pumping out babies for the factories. These poor cabbage-born children were put straight to work. These miners were also miners in mining operations. It's a sad truth that these cabbage babies were taken advantage of. Meanwhile, the elite orphans, the ones in the secret brotherhood, were busy cleaning up cities on the West Coast, preparing them for the next batch of the population. That's when the cabbage trains started rolling in. Trains packed with cabbage babies, sent from the east to the west, ready to fill up the newly founded cities. Some of these babies were even left to fend for themselves, dropped off in the middle of a city with no clue what to do next. Now I know what you're probably thinking. Why? Why would they go through all this trouble? What's the point? The truth is, history isn't what we've been told. There are secrets about ancient civilizations, magic, and the creation of cabbage babies. If people knew the truth, it would unravel the world as we know it. So after the repopulation phase, the church kicked off a massive propaganda campaign to teach us a new, fake history. If we knew that we came from cabbages, well, many would not be able to handle that sort of truth. So we ignore it. Over time, infertility was cured, but the cabbage babies never stopped being produced. It only went underground, and the techniques became far more advanced. This is still done in secret, in underground factories, for reasons that cannot be fully explained. But fortunately, there are some cabbage babies that remember. They remember the history of how we got here. Thankfully, many are beginning to wake up, and all we can hope is that one day, our minds will be unveiled.
Speaking of the creepy Cabbage Patch babies, have you heard of the Babyland General Hospital? In Cleveland, Georgia. We'll take a look at this little odd video from there. A few friends have went and said it's an interesting experience. This is a little bit of a longer video, so it will be multiple parts. Enjoy.
Just at the base of the tree that crystals begin to glow just a little bit brighter. And overhead, the honeybees, while they were sprinkling their magic crystal dust. And that's what determines whether it'll be a girl or a boy. What are you hoping for, a girl or a boy? All right, let's do it scientifically. Cross your fingers. And when I say 1, 2, 3, you're going to either say pink, pink, pink for girls or blue, blue, blue for boys. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and actually check Mother Cabbage. She always has happy, healthy babies. But this sonogram will determine whether it'll be a girl or a boy. Lot of blue. We've got a boy coming here.
I told you, boy. You weren't sorry there for being first little boy.
All right, we got our blanket ready. We're ready to assist. I'm just here to assist Mother Cabbage in this delivery. And so the first thing that I want to do is to give her a great big dose of something called TLC. There you go. Good job. Good job. And that is tender loving care. And then we also give her a great big dose of something called Imagicillin. And Imagicillin doesn't hurt her at all. It just loosens her leaves for before and after delivery. All right, Mother Cabbage, if you are going to cooperate and push, we should have a quick, easy delivery. The last thing that I'm going to do here is a procedure that is only done here at Babyland, and we found it to be very effective. It's called an easiotomy. All right. Now then, I tell you what, since you're all here, I'd appreciate it if you could help me with this delivery, because it's always a good idea to relax Mother Cabbage before she actually moves into the push stage. All right, so if I could get you to just breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Oh, feeling much better. Now, I saw some dads. I know you've been here before, so let's have you help along here too, okay?
This is part 2 of the Babyland General Hospital Cabbage Patch Kids. I just do a search and check out their website. In particular, this last line kind of gives me odd vibes. Take the oath of adoption. I always thought it strange how Cabbage Patch Kids came with their own birth certificates.
Feeling much better. Now, I saw some dads. I know you've been here before, so let's have you help along here too, okay? All right, breathe in, breathe out. Much better. Thank you so much, fathers, for cooperating. I tell you, I'm ready for pushing, okay? I imagine I'm going to need your help on that. You're going to have to coach Mother Cabbage for that too. Oh, I do see the head, and that's a good sign. Instead of an arm or a leg, that's called a branch delivery. I'm with you here all day for that, all day. So, here's what I'm going to need you to do. Since we have a nice big crowd here, we should be able to get this done on one push, right? So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and you're going to say push as loud as you can, okay? Mother Cabbage, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Good job, good job. There we go. Look at that. This little baby boy certainly is proof that the interns remember to fertilize. All that hair is proof of it. And had they not, of course, he'd have been born with a bald head. But every bit as beautiful as he is. Big blue eyes, an outie belly button, where I gently clipped him away from Mother Cabbage. See? The intern some time ago, they planted corn, and they planted it near the cabbage patch, and it cross-pollinated. And when it did that, all our babies, you can see, they're born with ears. The last thing, before I take this baby over to the nursery to give him his first checkup, and that is something a little embarrassing. So I need your help. You promise. You cannot laugh. You cannot laugh when I show you this. It's embarrassing for you. Well, okay, you tell him. Say, I promise.
I promise.
Did you hear that? All right. He has a birthmark. This is Xavier Roberts' birthmark. I need a boy's name. All right. Adam? Beckley? Warren? Will? Which one? Warren Beckley. He likes that name so much he might grow up and become a senator or a NASCAR driver. One of the two.